Pulsechain PulseX. Can we get a 10,000x in under 2 years?
Man, this is such an interesting question because, like, fool me. How does the saying go? Fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice, shame on me. When Richard Hart says, I am out here for glory, I'm out here trying to create 10,000x cryptos, and he does it once, and you didn't participate. All right, fool me once, but fool me twice, shame on you. So I the way I like to operate is to kind of under promise and over deliver. I much rather, especially, and I've somewhat evolved on this. Like before, I was talking a lot about the potential with 1000x, but that was more so during the sacrifice phase. Now I really like to kind of under promise. That way, if we do end up getting 1000x, 10,000x, over delivering great. Because doing the opposite, that's when people get mad at you. Because if you promise a 10,000x and we only get 1000x, well, I was waiting for that 10,000x. You fucker, you wrecked me, right? So I think moving forward, I think it's far more reasonable for people dollar cost averaging within the first quarter of this stuff going live to think more about kind of 100x's. And again, all this stuff, I know, but like even that, I don't even like to stick by that at all because I think the most important thing is timing analysis. Fuck your opinion. Like really, the market doesn't give a shit whether I say 50x or whether Buddy on Twitter says 10,000x. What matters is what the market gives you and looking out for the signs of market weakness. That's what matters. Timing analysis, technical analysis, that will give you a far more accurate way of realizing whatever the market has to give you rather than your arbitrary aspirations that the market doesn't give a shit about.
Well, there you go.
Yeah.
So you think it's possible, but you would rather, hope for the best, expect the worst, is what I'm hearing.
Well, I'd rather shill the worst, and then when the best happens, be kind of happily surprised kind of thing.
It's
like I rather say, guys, we'll get that 50x, and then when the 1000x comes, be very positively surprised rather than the other way around.
Yeah, and let me say that's what happened with Hex. Richard Hart said it, but nobody believed it. Everyone thought a penny, that's it. And then it ended up doing it, and people were very happy. So if that happens again,
and look, something to be said too, like people, it's so funny. People criticize the OA Richard Hart for like, hey, where did the ETH go? All the origin address. Like I mentioned earlier in the stream, me and Messin took a look at, and we had like a whole Excel spreadsheet, like following different addresses. And what we found was behavior that supported the Hex price from different interesting wallets. And so while we can't confirm anything, what we can say is that when Richard says that the OA, and we see through the actions, the OA is a benevolent entity, believe that, especially when we see it through transaction history. And so look, Richard has a lot of dry powder, a lot of where did the ETH go. The OA has a lot of dry powder, a lot of where did the ETH go. And given how different addresses has behaved historically, I don't think it's impossible or completely unreasonable to assume that at some point or the other, we might get beneficial behavior, although that should not be expected, that should not be relied upon. And so if we're talking about some real euphoric blow off top period, crazy returns are possible. And so I'm extremely hesitant to allow that side of me to kind of win over because I've seen the dangers of allowing that super bullish side of you to shine. I think it's far more productive to allow the bear to shine and far more productive to be protective in one's approach and be pleasantly surprised rather than the other way around. So that's kind of how I begrudgingly am thinking about talking about this.
Yeah, no, that's all great points, and I think I agree with everything.
Yeah.
My personal take was no, although it's possible, just because what I said was Hex started off like so fringe. only like 4,000 wallets participated in the beginning, and like to double that, you just need another 4,000. But like, heck, Pulse Chain was a lot more. It was like 40,000.
Yeah.
So, I mean, and it's still mathematically very, very possible, but I don't want to say it will. And I think everyone's gotten so spoiled. I think 1,000x is very, very possible. Like Phantom did it. I
Especially
think,
from stock price for sure.
yeah, I think it's very possible, and you should be grateful if you get that. It's people don't understand what a 50x is. 1,000x is like crazy. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed, please hit the like button and subscribe. For weekly meetings, courses, and to access my Discord, consider becoming a Patreon. If you're looking for a more personal experience, consider booking a one-on-one. All links are in the description.